we're going to do a mirrored Azure Databricks catalog demo. The first thing you want to do is get into your workspace. If you want to find in this artifact, you would just come here and search for Databricks. You can see it here, mirrored Azure Databricks catalog. Looks like this when you create one. Comes automatically with a semantic model and a SQL Analytics endpoint for ad hoc querying and some other stuff I'll show you in a minute. We jump in here, go ahead and show you that I have a TPC benchmarking database that's available right now. Go ahead and refresh this and see that this table is not there right now in Databricks. And each of these tables has a lot of data in it, probably a couple 100 million records designed for benchmarking, testing queries. More on that later, but we'll jump over to Databricks here. So you'll see that we have a mirroring demo catalog set up in our Databricks workspace, and that model TPCH database is here. Go ahead and create a employee test table. Might want to, it's just an example. You might want to integrate some employee data into here. So we got go ahead and run that, and we'll see that we get a new table here in our Databricks catalog and our model TPCH schema. We'll go ahead and populate that with some test records. And we wrote our 5 records, and we can now go ahead and verify that we have that data. You can see here. If we jump back to our mirror, we'll now be able to see whether that data shows up. The way we do that is clicking this green refresh button in the corner here. That'll refresh the entire schema. So what that's doing is it's actually reaching back into the ADLS Gen 2 account that our Databricks workspace is associated with, and it's getting the schema and the catalog metadata associated with this catalog that we imported, which I'll show you here. But you'll see that we now have our table. It's now readily available to us in Fabric. You'll see that this is the area where you're able to choose which objects you want to mirror. So you can do an entire schema. You can do just some objects. I believe that when you choose the whole schema, you automatically get any new tables or that get added to that schema. But that's where you choose all of that, and that's why our table showed up automatically. Check here on this monitor catalog, you'll see that I'm working way later than I should be. I don't tell my wife. But this also tells us that this is the last time that the table synced from Databricks and over into Fabric. So once we've seen this, we know that our data is it's syncing over, and we can go ahead and test this data. We have some of those TPCH queries. Now, the syntax for these queries is slightly different because the flavor of SQL in Databricks is different than that that's used in Fabric. So I had to tweak these queries to make it work, but what we're really looking for is to prove that the data is exactly the same, that we're actually using the exact same tables, but just in different environments. So Databricks made quick work of that. You'll see that this query brings back some data about shipping modes and order priority queries. And then when we jump back over here, we go into our SQL Analytics endpoint, and we'll see that we can do a lot of the same stuff, ad hoc querying, here in the web interface. So we run the equivalent query over here in Fabric. and we'll see that we have the same results. So there's the same results from the same query, and we know that we're using the exact same delta table that lives natively over in Databricks. What we can see here is that default data model that I talked about earlier, we can automatically update that. So you'll see that now if we hit this, it will now send that employees test table out to the semantic model and made it readily available for reporting. And that model is set up with Direct Lake, which means that as that data shows up in the Databricks environment, it will be mirrored over to Fabric and then automatically loaded into memory and the semantic model with no refresh, which is one of the most powerful parts of all of this. Now, one of the things I want to show you is that the SQL Analytics endpoint allows you to use tools that you're really accustomed to, like SSMS. You can run the exact same query here, build a database project, work in the way that you're kind of maybe accustomed to when you work with SQL Server, analysis services, and things of that nature. So you can see these queries run here. You can see that our table is available here in the mirroring demo database. But we get the same exact results here that we did in the other areas. I'm going to switch over to Tabular Editor, and you'll see that table is not available yet. But if we go ahead and revert back and pull back from the source, our employees test table shows up now, and we are able to now quickly add relationships between these tables. We can build measures and start to get ready to support our reporting effort in Power BI, and all without copying the data and without any refreshes, and a really much cleaner and much more efficient way of bringing data over from Databricks. And that's the end of our demo.